Hey, it's Carolyn Peters from Kira Studios, and in today's tutorial, I'm showing you two ways to get better proportions. We will focus on alignments and on checking out negative spaces instead of focusing on the positive shapes. So negative spaces are spaces in between items, and positive spaces are just the things themselves. So right here, you see me laying in the blob phase of my drawing. I'm just placing where do I want things to be on the page, how big do I want them to be, and I'm speeding this up a little bit for you. And once I have my blobs, I become a little bit more specific about my shapes without measuring yet. I need to have enough on the page before I can start checking some alignments. So the first alignment I'm checking are horizontal alignments, especially on the low and high points. So here I'm checking how low is the lowest foot and how does it compare to the other 2 feet. So in this case, I needed to lower that front foot down more so it's aligning better with the other feet. To check your alignments, you need a straight measuring device like a knitting needle or skewer. And when you take your measurements, you need to close one eye because that will flatten out your depth perception and make it much easier to see what you're hoping to figure out. So as I'm getting more specific with my shapes throughout this drawing, I'm constantly checking for those negative shapes, those shapes in between 2 items, like here for example in between the 2 front legs. What does that shape look like? And the reason why I do this is because I don't have any assumptions about that shape, but our mind does have lots of assumptions about what a foot is supposed to look like. So it's more productive to look at those shapes in between because we don't have any assumptions about those spaces yet. So another alignment that you can check is an angular alignment. So you find 2 points in your still life and you connect them with an angle, and you want to ask yourself on a clock face, what time would that angle describe? So here I'm noticing on the polar bear that that head is too high for the angle that I was seeing. And I keep running through these horizontal or angular alignments a couple of times until I feel really sure. So just because I check them once doesn't mean that I leave it. I always keep coming back until I'm 100% sure. Constantly looking for opportunities to see negative shapes. So here, the back legs, what does the shape in between those 2 back legs look like? That usually results in a much more structured looking foot rather than if you just look at the foot itself, it usually ends up looking like a big fat blob. So if you look at those more abstract shapes created in between the belly and the foot, or the foot and the hind foot, it turns out much better. And to do this well, I ask myself things like, that black shape in between the legs, what does it remind me of? Is it pointy? Is it square? Does it make me think of a pizza slice? Does it make me think of a half moon? I try to find analogies that will help me see that black shape better rather than obsessing over the foot or the leg itself. So the next alignment that we can use is a vertical alignment where we see here, for example, how the handle intersects the polar bear. And I'm also checking that negative space in between the needle and the object. So I'm combining negative spaces with the alignment. Sometimes it intersects an object, sometimes it creates a negative space, and I just grab onto whatever is more useful in that moment. So here again, going back to negative spaces, rather than obsessing over what does that handle look like, I pay close attention to what the shape looks like created by the edge of the milk jug and the edge of the handle. Much better strategy for success. So here I'm just placing all the individual orchids, and I use both vertical alignments as well as negative spaces in placing the general shapes for the orchids. So I don't go into detail at this stage. I'm just kind of finding their rough shapes, but I align them very well. So again, shifting away from the particulars and seeing it in the most abstract way that I can. So here, what's that shape in between these 2 orchids looking like? I'll ask myself questions like, the top orchid, if I put a vertical on its right edge, where does it intersect the next orchid down? Halfway, 2/3, 1/3. Here's one more vertical alignment. Which orchid sticks out further to the right, or are they equally sticking out to the same degree? I check it, I make my adjustment based on what I've observed rather than what I assume. As you go through your drawing, become super curious about where are there areas where you can shift your focus from the thing itself, the handle, the side, the edge, the flower, to the space in between. And again, keep asking questions about what does that space remind you of? Does it really look like this, or does it need to be slimmer? Does it need to be more curved? Is there more of a point to it? And find these odd spaces like here in between the tail, the thigh, and the heel, asking yourself, what does that look like, rather than obsessing over the leg itself. So to summarize, we have 3 types of angular alignments: horizontal, vertical, and angular. And if you double them up with checking out negative spaces, they're a great way of getting much better proportions. As you're using these tools, be sure to go from your outermost alignments and incrementally work your way inward. So what's your lowest point? What's your highest point? What's your second lowest point? How do they relate to each other? You want to get that first rather than starting in the middle randomly and then losing track of what you've already checked and what you haven't checked. So general to specific, outermost to more innermost. And the reason why we use these tools is because they help us abstract whatever it is that we're drawing, so we don't get caught up in assumptions about what it's supposed to look like, but so we can actually see what is truly in front of us. And as you're checking alignments, you can see how those angles intersect individual objects or what kind of negative spaces they create. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you next time.